You're listening to the Locksmith Show here on Independent Talk, KFNX. The local listener line is 602-277-5369, and you can reach us on the national toll-free line at 866-536-1100. Here is the Locksmith Show.
Live and in living color in the Arizona Professional Locksmith Association studios, it's the Locksmith Show, where we have Andrew McColley from Andrew's Lock and Key, Andrew from AZ Tech Geeks, and a variety of family members soon to be announced.
Yeah. Happy Father's Day to everybody out there.
Absolutely.
To all our fathers, not everybody, but to the fathers.
Happy Father's Day.
Well, thank you. Mine's not around.
One of our special guests today is actually my father. He came in the studio to have a little chat with us today, possibly.
Yay. Say hello.
Good morning. I didn't realize I was going to be on the air, but I thought I was going to be an observer.
Well,
Yeah, Andrew likes to do that to people, bring them in thinking that you're just going to be sitting back and, trying to see what's going on. And then he throws a mic in front of you and says, jump on.
And I thought I had it all set up because I was going to say something like, and now, ladies and gentlemen, a radio personality from the 1900s. Well, late in the 1900s anyway.
Yeah.
But he beat me to it.
yeah. And then we got the little one. He's not really little. He's the littlest in here. Well,
The medium
actually,
one.
I'm the littlest in here now. He is
Superseded you in height.
in height, yes.
By an inch.
Not by an inch.
Yeah, by an inch, a whole inch.
Oh, look at this little Macaulay.
Well, just think maybe one day little McCulley will be 6'18" and
He could wish, because that never happened to me. I always thought I was going to be taller, but I ended up getting the shortest end of the stick in the whole family
Yeah, your brothers are definitely taller.
by about 6 inches, both of them.
well,
Thanks, Sean. and AJ.
apparently this white man can't jump.
Absolutely. That's why I look brown.
So we were going to get together and do show prep on Saturday, the Saturday that never came, and
Well, it came. It just never
yeah.
came around. I do have a question, though.
Oh, do tell.
Well, it wasn't. It's a question directed at us. Do you have it pulled up by chance?
I don't have the direct question actually pulled up over here, but
That was last week's show, wasn't it?
It's a question that's been coming around a lot. Let's see if we want to look up last week's show. Here.
Yes,
I am
ladies
on
and
the
gentlemen.
YouTube channel.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's true. I am pregnant and afraid.
Wow. All right, Charlie.
Oh, boy. That's scary.
No, more and more people have been coming onto the YouTube channel. The scammer video has actually broken 500,000 now. But people have been asking more and more of how to start a locksmith business.
Well,
The big question is, do they want to? With the direction that locksmithing has been going, and with the locksmith scammers actually taking over 80 or 90% of what the ALOA board referred to as the low-hanging fruit, the car lockouts, the quick residential rekeys, and that kind of stuff. Do people really want to try to get into competition with these scammers? I don't know. Now, if there's some highly technical people out there that think that they want to delve into the world of EEPROMs and all that stuff going on in the automotive sector, that, I've been doing computers for a long time, and honestly, I got way behind the curve when Windows took over from DOS. And, there were times where people would tell me, well, can't you just go get that off our website? And I'm like, don't you have to have a VGA monitor for that? And some Windows. And so, I don't know. I guess it depends on where they're at and where the industry is going. I think if they're not going to have an extreme background in electronics and technology and being able to wire things up, running Cat5 cables, and, well, a lot of it now is wireless, but interfacing all the doorknobs and deadbolts to the electronic systems so they can do things automatically from their phone or what. I've got it on good authority that within about the next 3 months, you're going to have to take your cell phone with you and use your cell phone to start up the shower and the toothbrush.
Really? That's coming?
I believe
very
this to be
fast.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
very fast.
Yeah, I mean it's what Cognizant works on, definitely. I mean the Internet of Things is rapidly approaching, as you said. But no, I think I don't disagree with Charlie. I do believe if you're going to go into mobile locksmithing, then you're definitely going to be focusing more and more on the technologies, running wires or having the correct computers in order to get the programs working and things like that. What's your views on it, Andrew?
Well, to get into the question here, I'll read the whole question. Hey, guys, this is pretty cool. What is your advice for someone like me who's thinking about about starting a mobile locksmith business besides fair and accurate prices? So he knows about the scam. He knows that we talk a lot about that. But getting into it, like Charlie said right now, isn't necessarily a good thing, but it isn't a bad thing either.
No, if somebody wants to do it, far be it from me to tell them don't.
If you think you're going to make $1 million tomorrow, you're not, just like anything out there. But if you work hard at it, you could still make something of yourself in this industry. But I would suggest not going out and starting your own company right away. That's sometimes not the easy way to do it. So I worked for people for about 10 years before I went into business for myself. And I saw how they ran their businesses, what the do's and don'ts that they did. And I took 5 different people I worked for over that amount of time and built my business around that, how they ran theirs.
And that's probably why you're doing better than I am after all these years. I, once upon a time, was running around doing 1,000 miles a week around Northern California, delivering summonses and court orders and such. And one day I was visiting one of my customers. It was a towing company. And Scotty says, Diane, better call the locksmith. We need keys for that car. And I'm like, why don't you let me try that? And I ran on down to the hardware store and I got 3 each of every possible key that would work in that car and, believe it or not, an ignition points file. And I went over there and made a key that worked that car, and I was their locksmith from then on. And after a while, I was able to purchase a GM code book, and I could file the 6-cut GM keys to code by hand. And a couple of months after that, I could afford a Curtis clipper.
There you go.
And
Hey, somebody's got one for sale right now. A whole bunch of them. $80.
yeah, I'm Pack-a-Punch guy now.
Oh,
Wait a minute. No, I'm Ninja guy now.
I was going to say, you stepped up the game.
Well, isn't the cost of getting into it much higher?
Insanely.
I mean, if you're going to do cars, it's all computerized.
It's you're $30,000 out of pocket.
Probably at least.
That's with a nice machine. That's with stock. Because you're going to need stock. You're going to get that call at 1 PM on Saturday that it's for the car you don't have the key for. So that happens.
And for the guy asking the question, guy or girl asking the question, I'd say your best bet is networking. Go out and make some friends, preferably the ones that really know what they're doing. So when you get that call at 1 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon for a key you don't have, or when you have trouble flashing a Toyota computer from 1942 that needs to have the old style programming, you can go to one of these friends you've networked with and pick up a key blank that you can replace tomorrow or get some help with the flashing that you're doing. Don't just try to be God's gift to everybody all by yourself, because it's not ever going to work.
No, it's not. I've got a lot of friends in this industry, a lot, especially here. Some of them I worked for years. And, I think building those relationships, having that network, because when I went out on my own, I was borrowing computers from people to go program cars.
Hey, over the weekend, yesterday, I got a call from a guy that was just very upset about every place he would go to try to get some employment. He's been in the industry 20 years. He's never heard of this in Southern Cal. What's your take on the non-competition things where, if what goes on between us doesn't work out, no, you can't go be a locksmith in Maricopa County for the next year. You've got to do brain surgery or something for the next year before you can be a locksmith again.
Well, I can tell you I signed 4 of them. I was never sued. Because in our state, it's a right to work state. So they can't withhold that up in court. Now, if I was out there trying to steal the clientele that I was in contact with from said
that company.
then yeah, they could come back and sue me, But there's been plenty of times that clients hunted me down. They went to find out what lock company I went to because I didn't work there anymore.
Because they loved you so
Because they liked
much.
using me or something to that nature. Yeah, exactly. They liked my service or they liked me as their locksmith, not necessarily the company. So, I hear the sound.
It's wonderful to be wanted and loved, and we're going to talk about that one phone call and the results thereof right after this. We'll be back in a couple of minutes after these announcements.
Welcome back to the Locksmith Show.
Where we have a remarkably full house.
Yes, we do. Charlie wasn't ready for that intro. I had to steal that from him.
It's almost a mosh pit in this place.
Exactly.
Now.
Start cramming them all in here. Again, happy Father's Day to everybody.
Yes.
Sean, you're not here yet. Where are you?
How are you?
He's right there.
Sean
Oh, who's Sean? Oh, the other one.
from L.A.
Yeah, I'm lost. Anyway, so back to Mr. Dead Family. That was his YouTube handle name. Person,
Okay.
YouTube account. Back to his thing where he was asking about getting in as a mobile locksmith. Like Charlie said, build a network of guys that you know in that town. Find out if there's a small association that is not heard of because there's still around.
You mean like PAL?
Like PAL. Or like the Arizona Professional Locksmith Association.
Or maybe SOPL or something.
SOPL. You could definitely join that. They have good classes on there. As well as Aloha,
Oh, say it's not so.
Say it's
Last on
not
the
so.
list.
Last on the list.
All right.
And to this day, I hate to say this to all you Aloha members, Charlie, since you're my quote unquote Southwest director, even though I'm not a member, why has nobody said anything from Aloha? I got people emailing me all over the place about that video I did. Not one from Aloha.
I think probably most of them are remarkably unaware.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or they don't know how to use the internet
actually, they do. I get emails once in a while.
once in a while.
Yeah.
Some of these people want to snail mail stuff still.
We were talking about at the board meeting the scammer committee and the scammer committee report, which there wasn't much of one. And one of the other board members asked the scammer committee chairman, Mr. Beebe, Bill Broham from Florida, what is the scammer committee's mission statement? And he's like, well, we don't have one. And they're like, well, why not? Don't you think you should have one and make one? Oh, guess we'll have to get to work on that, won't we? I thought we were going to do that at the board meeting. No, that's not what the board meeting is for, Mr. Beebe. And I was telling you that for a couple of months while you were ranting and raving on Clearstar, calling everybody, anybody and everybody, anything but a white boy. You really need to, and I've emailed you twice in the last couple of weeks about, is the scammer committee doing anything? And if so, what is it? And I have not gotten a response from him.
Well,
so
no response is sometimes not a good response, I guess.
yeah, I mean,
Well, that's
yeah.
always my concern is I don't know what Aloha wants to do. I don't think anything, but that's just my opinion. And
well, I
that's
know
why
what
I
Aloha
won't
wants
pay
to
them any
do.
money. So.
And I'm not a spokesman for Aloha, and so I can't really say. The only official spokesman is the president or sometimes the executive director. But what they want to do is get a bunch more members, do a lot more education, keep promoting shows, and get a lot more members and education and keep promoting shows. And
Well, if we can get a lot more members, if we had a lot more money in this industry to put toward it. Just my opinion on
yeah,
it.
and if the scammers weren't taking a great deal of the disposable income away from the rank and file of legitimate guys that have been here for 10, 20, 30 years, there would be a lot more money to spread around for these things.
Yeah. And if I hear the word phone book come out of somebody from Aloha again, I'm sorry. It's over. I just got the new one. It isn't even big enough to put a child on to get him up to the top of the table. So, unless you just want to pull out the laptops and set them up. So, but
You might damage the laptops, though.
Yeah.
The child's heavy enough.
Child's heavy enough. So, but yeah, they're gone, guys. The phone books are gone. They're never coming back. We can save the trees.
Once upon a time, I had a Hurricane Katrina refugee working for me in my shop here in Phoenix. I was out and about, and I called him up. Emil, I need a phone number or an address for so-and-so. When I got back to the shop, I says, Emil, where the hell's my phone number? He said, well, I got the book open right over there. I picked up that phone book. I threw it across the room at the trash can. I said, Emil, we don't use phone books. We've got this lovely thing right here in the middle of a counter called the computer, and when you type the name in it, it pops up a phone number for you within 3 seconds. We don't use phone books.
Yeah. Phone books. Dex hates us.
I remember reading the phone books when I was about, 10.
I just remember prank calling people out of the phone book when I was about 10. That's when you just flipped it open, pulled your finger down the line, and you're going to call that number.
And you know what? When I was a child back then, and even into my teens, I knew if I went and looked something up in the yellow pages, that if I needed a business for this kind of a something, if I got on my bicycle and rode across town to that address, that company is going to be there.
Absolutely.
And the whole business of the phone companies going into selling off phony listings just to make a little extra money and to populate phone books in Google is asinine.
Wow. I don't disagree.
Not to mention illegal, immoral, and unethical.
Wow. Welcome to the new world we live in. But back to starting your own mobile locksmith again. We digress quite a bit here. But
So sorry.
that's okay. Back to that, what you just said with the phone book area, you could spend $7,000 that month and guarantee you'd have one of those first 3 page ads, full page ads, maybe 10,000, depending on what city you're in and that type of stuff. Well, now you have to spend about 30 or 40,000 a month to have one of the first 3 ads to pop up in Google AdWords.
Pay per click.
Yes. So you need to, if you get into this industry, you need to become part of the advertising industry as well, because you're not going to have that kind of money to compete with the scammers. In all reality, that's what they are. That's the only thing we can call them, because they're not legitimate businesses. You're not fighting a nationwide company. You're fighting a nationwide subcontractor of the subcontractor to the independent contractor to his subcontractor. So they're not nationwide companies. There's only one nationwide company that I can think of. So
I'm guessing you're talking about Papa-Lock.
I am talking about Papa-Lock. But
And he started out very small in Louisiana, and he has done just one hell of a job of marketing that company. And frankly, when I was working and living in Louisiana, and I'd go out and one of his people was on the scene, and other locksmiths, our perception of them was they don't have a clue what they're doing, and why are they getting all these calls that we're not, and why are we having to go clean up after them? And now they have training programs. They have nationwide dispatching. One of the big events at the Aloha Convention is the Papa-Lock Gala.
Mm.
So,
no, that's where all the Papa-Lock franchise guys go together.
yeah.
So
And I don't know if we're invited or not.
No.
Not being Papa-Lock guys.
probably not.
But, I mean, I don't know if I, as a board member, am invited to the Papa-Lock Gala.
No,
Probably not.
probably not. But
to answer his question, if you want to get started in the mobile locksmith business, first thing you need is a cheap paid-for vehicle.
yes, and some hand tools, and start watching YouTube videos if that's the route you want to go. Or like we said, get in with a couple of guys that have been doing it for a few years, and if you just got to befriend them. Sometimes you have to really push them, let them know you want to learn that, because a lot of us work all day long, all night long, and we get calls from people, and we need a job. Well, you need to marry this industry if this is what you want to do. And a lot of people think.
And one thing you can do is go to somebody that's been doing this a while and say, hey, let me come out and work with you a day a week or 2 days a week for free.
Mm-hmm.
Or let me pay you $50 a day to come out and work with you so that I can learn what you've learned over the last 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's one way that you can actually let people know, I'm serious about wanting to do this. And the other thing is, the big question is, why do you want to do this? And if the answer is, because I want to have something to go out and make a living, that's not necessarily the best answer. For me, the best answer for that question is, I really do enjoy going out and helping people.
Absolutely.
And I enjoy helping people to the point where from time to time I'll pull over by the side of the road where somebody's got a flat tire, or whip out my electric impact driver and my hydraulic jack and have the tire changed for them in 3 minutes where it might take them a half an hour,
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even ask them for anything. I just stop and help because it's in my nature.
Wow.
So,
and that's why I enjoy doing this. It's the smile on the face when I leave them.
absolutely. So we have news and weather at the bottom of the hour, and we'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Locksmith Show. Our call-in numbers are 602-277-5369, and we're here to answer any questions you have about locks and keys or the criminals invading our industry. And anybody with any experiences with some of the scammers out there, please feel free to give us a call. Jamie, are you listening?
We had this lady call us the other day. She needed a padlock open, I believe, on her storage unit. And I quoted her $75. That was it. She said that was a little too expensive. I said, okay. Well, she called us the next day, or 2 days after that. Was that last week?
2 days later, yeah.
2 days later, she called us again and asked me who I referred the call to. Because I supposedly referred the call to somebody else, and the company was trying to charge her like $195. Or they did charge her that. She ended up paying it. But it just so happened to be our favorite blonde-haired friend driving his little sports car, supposedly, is the gentleman that was there. I don't want to call him a gentleman. The guy that was there opening is the second star of our YouTube video. My co-star.
Yes.
He was there doing it again. Still ripping people off.
The guy that works for Ami Hanan.
Yes.
One of our favorite criminals.
Or in some of the other things I found out, Tony is Mr. Ori, I believe, through some reviews of other locksmiths here in town. So, and supposedly they have a shop now right down the street from us here. So.
Well, I don't know what to say other than
buyer beware.
Well, there's a big dose of that. And, why can't the Attorney General discontinue rectal cranial insertion syndrome and do something about this? I mean, a couple days ago, I hooked you up on a phone call with someone that I know. We need to get the car open or pickup, whatever it was. And Andrew says, of course, it's going to be
$75 at the time it was.
And her response was, oh, that's too much. And so since I had her number in my phone, I immediately texted her, if you go onto Google, watch out for the $15, the $19, etc. And then I followed up with a second text, make sure to go review the locksmithpolice.com, which has, the Sky Johnson video and all that on it.
Wonderful website.
So yesterday, I get a phone call back from her around noon, 1 o'clock or something. Charlie, we've got this guy over here that's opened the car for us, and now he wants like $169. I'm like, did you get the text I sent you? Well, yeah, but I didn't look at him until after. Oh. Okay, then. Take pictures of the guy, take videos of the guy. Go look at Andrew's Lock and Key on YouTube and see, is this guy the same guy? And apparently it was the same kid. Apparently, not only was it the same kid, but he had the girlfriend in the car and marijuana in the car.
Oh, lovely.
Or so she said.
Well, let's hope they have a medical card.
And then they finally ended up paying $100 because I think the story was it was her daughter and the boyfriend had warrants or something, so he didn't want to be in the let's call the cops and run this guy off thing. Mm-hmm. So they halfway submitted to overpricing and extortion. I'm going to put her in her cousin's category, immune to learning.
No,
and she and her cousin both know who I'm talking about.
Well, but everybody is, when you're in that situation, even I lock my keys in my car, still a lot. And I don't have tools all the time, but I do know ways into my vehicle.
Isn't that why you keep the second set hanging on your belt? That's what I do.
I have one set of keys to the car. There would only be one key to the car.
As his father, I'm shaking my head.
You know.
And somebody needs to... Dad, you suppose we could give him a dose of OCD?
My OCD is way different.
Keeping extra set of keys?
It has nothing to do with that. My OCD makes me run 2 businesses. That might be my ADHD, too. I don't know. But...
It's something alphabetical.
It's something in there. One of my many diseases that we have. So, but no, I think going back to that guy, they don't care. You know, if he's still opening the car for her, hanging out in our neck of the woods, he's waiting to get videotaped again, I think. And people want to complain. Some of the comments on the YouTube video is the kid's just trying to do his job. He's doing better work than me because he drives a better car. None of you guys know what kind of personal car I drive. The kid drives his mom's car around, for all I know.
So. Yeah, some of the comments that people make about things are just plain
trolly.
How much crack have they been smoking this month?
That's what I said in the beginning of the video, actually.
But I did tell Jamie and whoever else was with her, get his picture, get his pictures of his license plate, start rolling video of this guy talking about why using an air wedge requires another $200 to be added on to a $75 car opening because it's just plain stupid. It's ridiculous.
They're afraid of getting sued. According this is my logic behind what they're saying. They have an insurance liability. Sure, there's an insurance liability. Is that a destructive method to open a car? In my opinion, yes, it is. So, but it doesn't. I could charge somebody $300 if I came over and picked their car opening.
Well, you could charge somebody $300 if you take a 4.5-inch hole saw and cut a hole in and unlock the thing by manipulating the linkage.
And then have them another $1,000 bill replacing their door.
Yeah, like that.
But yeah, that's what they do. I mean, literally, that's what they do sometimes. Drill a 4-inch hole next to the lock to reach in to unlock the lock.
Did you ever hear about the original Medico bypass techniques?
No.
Once upon a time, it was about 1989, Medico had just come out with the unpickable deadbolt.
The Biax, this stuff?
No, before Biax.
Oh,
the original
okay.
Medico.
Gotcha.
And so the big news in the industry was when some company came out with the Medico pick. So you could pick over Medico locks.
Wasn't that where you drilled a little hole above it and flipped the deadbolt in the inside?
And stick an ice pick through and manipulate the deadbolt. It had nothing to do with picking the cylinder. It was a bypass technique that involved destruction to the door.
Yes.
And it was not at all surreptitious.
No.
Which is what picking usually is.
I still see those little holes in doors every once in a while.
I defeated a Medico once at a gas station. Tip of the key had broken off way down in the back of the lock, and they had to get this gas station open. So I've figured, okay, it's a mortise cylinder. Let me just wrench the mortise cylinder out. Well, the lorry deadbolt broke, and the whole assembly started spinning round and round and round. I'm like, oh no, what do I do now? I got out the Sawzall and put it behind the collar, sliced off the front of the mortise cylinder housing, shoved the whole assembly through into the inside, and fixed the bolt. Fished the bolt open from there. So I carried that around in a box for a long time, marked Medico defeated.
Medico defeated. I've had to drill out a few multi-locks in my life. Those aren't fun.
I haven't tried those.
Yeah. It's what I sell a lot of my customers. I like that lock. You never played with one?
Not a whole bunch. And the funny part is I've got a few cylinders laying around that just doesn't really appeal to me for some reason. I know it's got some pins within pins and some magnets and some other silliness.
Nah. Definitely a hard lock to pick, period. They do make picks for them, but not necessarily on the interactive pin that you're talking about. It's not necessarily a magnet. It's more of a pin that moves at the same time. They do make ones with magnets, though.
Yeah, it was so many weirded out variations.
Well, some of that Medico stuff is on magnets now, too.
Could be. I'm not into the M3 and all that.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of ASA stuff, and I like ASA a lot.
ASA's good.
And haven't sold any in a long time, but I've been doing a lot of commercial stuff, a lot of third-party calls for national service providers, for shoe stores in the malls and stuff, and I've been doing a lot of bank jobs for this one provider, and not having to go out and mess with a bunch of that stuff has made me a little bit lazy in learning about it. Wow. I can always call out an expert like Andrew from Andrew's Lock and Key.
Not necessarily an expert. I know my stuff, though.
And we'll be back after this. Welcome back to the Locksmith Show. Once again, the call-in number is 602-277-5369. And since we've done absolutely no show prep and don't have any idea what we're going to talk about this segment, we're going to go around the table where everybody is going to keep repeating the phone number until somebody picks up the phone and dials in. We're going to do this for the next hour and a half. So,
hour and a half. Did you pay for another hour?
Nah,
and
who's
20
counting?
minutes? Wow. I think we got 12 minutes left. 8, I think, to be exact.
T-minus 8 minutes and counting.
Yeah.
I guess Andrew is not going along with this go around the table reading off the phone number plan. So, what are we going to chat about?
I don't know, Charlie. I lost my train of thought when you did that one to me. You kind of threw me for a curveball.
There you go.
I knew you'd like that.
It is Father's Day.
So, Father, why don't you tell us about Kelloland and your experiences and all that?
Well, I hit Sioux Falls, which is where Andrew was born, probably about 78, maybe 77.
77. You're in Yankton before then.
Yeah. Worked in radio for about 13 years in Kelloland, and then jumped to the competition later. But it was kind of a fun place to be. There were some incredible people.
Dave Dedrick and stuff.
Dave Dedrick.
Captain 11.
Captain 11.
Captain 11, the TV guy.
I met him several times.
He and I weren't real good buddies because I was on the radio while he was doing his kids show in the TV studio. And I would go out because at about 4:20, the radio or the newswire sent out the new forecast. So I'd run out there and grab the forecast, and he was on the air for some time on TV, till 5, I think. But he would come into the radio studio, slug me while I'm on the air, grab the weather, and walk away. So we had it out a couple of times.
Well, all righty then. So I'm told that even though the system is down here and we don't have any idea who in the world it is, I'm told we do have a caller.
Hello, caller.
Hi,
Hi.
my name is Linda.
Hi, Linda. How's it going?
It's going good. I just wanted to call up and extol the beautiful reasons why I'm calling about Charlie.
Oh.
Do tell.
Do tell. Well, I found him on your show once, and then about 3 months went by, and I finally called him again, and he took care of my problem in about 1 hour.
And what problem?
Pardon me?
What problem was that?
I had a frozen ignition that was recalled to the Chevrolet place, and they screwed it up. After a month, it didn't work anymore. It froze up. And so we couldn't drive the car for about 3 months. And we took it to our regular place, and they wanted like about $800 to fix it, to put it. Yeah. And so that was, after that, I heard you guys on TV, on the radio, and I was listening to Charlie, and she was saying he could probably do most about anything. And now I'm a firm believer.
Nice.
Not sure about all that.
Well, you know, but we were just so happy, and I think he knows we were real happy with him. He comes with a smile and a bunch of jokes and makes you happy, and he took care of it for us, and we were so overwhelmed.
Well, there
He's
you
just
go.
a great guy. Yeah, he's a great guy.
What kind of vehicle was it?
It was a 98 Malibu.
98 Malibu.
Yeah.
That curse of the 10 cut.
And I only damaged
Yeah.
their ignition a little bit. It doesn't
Yeah,
any
really.
longer have the little bezel on the front,
Oh.
but
But I've saved it, Charlie. I've got it sitting in my kitchen.
have you gold plated it yet?
Not yet. I will.
Well,
But I really wanted to say thank you so much. My son, as you could tell, he was so stoked.
well, thank you
Yeah.
very much. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And if anybody needs a locksmith for their car or for anything, call Charlie.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or Andrew, or both.
Or Andrew, or both. But we just wanted to tell you we were so thankful.
Well, I'm glad I could get that thing happening for you, and I'm glad we didn't have to put another $200 or $300 ignition cylinder in
Oh.
it, and I'm glad I didn't have to do all that work. Oh my goodness!
Yes. Yeah. And it was, I have to say, it was late at night too, and he still insisted on coming from a long way, and we really, really appreciated that too. So.
Well, I was
Charlie,
out
you're
in
the best.
Surprise, and you were downtown on my way home, so that
I
wasn't
know,
that
but
big
it was
a deal.
9 o'clock at night, and I wouldn't expect you to do that. So.
Well, I didn't expect you to stay up past your bedtime either. But
Oh, that's funny. Anyway, I really am happy with your work, and I want everybody to know that.
well, thank you very much. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you
All
for
right.
calling.
You guys have a good weekend.
You too.
Take care, Linda.
Bye-bye.
Well, there you go, Charlie. Yeah, I got a call off the radio, and you helped fix the lady's car, and they're back on the road again.
Yeah, and their main thing was they basically want to sell the car and give that problem to somebody else. But the GM 10 cuts do have a known problem where the first wafer, 2 or 3, sometimes hang up, and I got really lucky with that
You could
car.
get that to turn again.
Well, they had a key, so I used the Ninja and decoded it, cut a key by code, worked the doors just like butter, and I stuck that key in the ignition, so I knew I had most of the lock already picked. And then a little bit of force rotation back and forth got the thing to turn over, and it worked well after that. So I'm assuming that now the first wafer, 2 or 3, are now maybe permanently in the picked position. Well, the key operates normally on the rest of the lock.
Yeah.
And if problems crop up again in the future, well, the car does need a new ignition. And like I said, that ignition is about $200 to $300 lock just for the parts.
Something like that. It's
It's
pretty
that,
close to that.
that
It's
in-dash
expensive.
ignition. Of course, it's a bit of a pain to try to get that one in and out, but fortunately, we didn't have to do all that.
Exactly. It gets expensive and a lot of work.
Yeah,
I do know a trick to get that switch out without pulling the radio.
Does it involve the slide hammer?
No. That's the old bolt-ins. But that
No, that's the old snap-ins. You
Oh,
do
yeah,
that with a
snap-in, the
bolt-in,
bolt-in.
you
Yeah,
break the
I'm-
column. Hello?
you break the whole column with it. Yeah. Old snap-ins, you could do that. No, there is a little. I actually have a specially designed Harbor Freight tool. Somebody says hello on Windows.
Update virus protection.
Deactivate virus protection.
Deactivate speakers.
Yeah, there you go.
Got the old HP Pavilion laptop here that with Windows 10 on it. So
Yeah,
every
saves
time
it
I
when-
turn it on, it'll boot up to 10 part way, and then you have to power it off and power it on again, so it will really boot up.
And thanks Windows 10 for forcing, or thanks Windows for forcing Windows 10 on everybody. Almost as good as U2 getting forced on everybody with their Apple products.
Yes.
That's what I feel like.
I haven't had an Apple product, so I don't know about all that.
Yeah, if you had an Apple iPod or iTouch or any product, you got the U2 album a few years ago sent to you.
I think
Free
I
of charge.
concluded a long time ago, if its first name has to be I don't want to have any part of it. And I'm getting to the point where when calls come in for automobiles, if the car's first name is 19, I really don't want to have anything to do with it.
Yeah. Why?
Well, because they're usually a cluster bleep.
Yeah.
Well,
Sometimes they're really easy and you can leave.
if it's a Saginaw steering column and all he wants an ignition key, yeah, let me have that one. Sure, why not? I'll do those all day.
Oh, okay.
But
you don't want an old Honda?
Where somebody's replaced the ignition and bastardized the car so that you have to destroy the ignition to put another new one in or something?
At
Not
least
so much.
my eyes are still good to see then, because I can hand file any Honda in about 5 minutes.
Well, we only have 2 minutes left, so I guess that you're not going to hand file
Give
one.
me an ignition right here on the counter. I'll have it done before the end of the show.
I don't believe a word of it.
Get me one on the counter. Let's do this.
Christopher,
Anybody got a Honda?
poop and ignition. And a file and a key blank.
Hey, I sat on the reservation a couple weeks ago in the hot sun doing that.
That's no joke.
And that's the other thing. She said, and he came over at 9 o'clock at night. I'm like, well,
I wouldn't wanna
better than noon.
Yeah.
Better than 4 in the afternoon when temperature's 118 tomorrow.
I started answering the calls and they asked me what time the price goes down. I say at 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
I don't work during the day during the summer, especially today. Everybody stay cool.
Absolutely.
121 or so coming.
Yeah. I'm thinking, we should get together and invent some air-conditioned hats where, maybe a top hat with a compartment for dry ice and a little fan. I think we could sell the bleep out of these things. His hand was very close to that button.
Charlie, shh, be quiet. Well, thank you guys for listening to the Locksmith Show today. Podcast will be up this week. And Charlie almost dropped the bomb. Boom, boom, boom.
And yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's just that simple. Happy Father's Day, and we'll see you again someday, ladies and gentlemen. Or is it Sunday?
Sunday
or someday? One
Someday.
of them. Some
Sunday at 11.
On 1100. Independent Talk, KFNX.
Have a great day, guys. If you like my YouTube channel, please subscribe below. It's over here. I don't know. It's somewhere, anywhere. It's wherever they like to put it. I don't know. But thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe. Tell your friends. Share my videos. If you have any questions, email me, andrewslockandkeyaz@gmail.com, or don't hesitate to pick up the phone. I answer my phone all the time. 480-437-4022. Thank you, and have a great day.